So it's time to introduce our next speaker for today, Miss Derinsola Jolaosho. But before I do, let me give a quick background on who she is. She is a creative problem solver with experience in branding, public relations, and marketing communications. She holds a bachelor's degree in English from the University of Lagos and an MSc in Media Enterprise from Pan Atlantic University. She is also a pioneer at the Joseph Business School, Lagos. Derinsola is currently the managing partner of the Push Consulting. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Derinsola Jolaosho.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Derinsola Jolaosho. And today, I want to tell you about humanizing your brand. And when I was called for this session, and thank you to Mrs. Messi for inviting me for this session. When I was called for this session and they said, how do we get started in real estate? How do we build foundations and all that? And I think one most important thing, whether you are in the real estate industry or not, or whatever industry that you are in, is to build your brand. And why is it now more important for real estate? Because real estate is a business of relationship marketing. I like to say that. Why? Have you noticed that we have a lot of realtors and they are still selling? And we have a lot of companies that they have social media, they have websites, they have everything, and people that are buying know that, okay, this realtor is buying for this, is selling for this company, but they will rather pass through the realtor rather than going on the website of the company to make the purchase. Why? Relationship. Because real estate is about relationship marketing. And that's why when we consult for a lot of development companies, and when clients just come and say, oh, come and do billboards for, clients, when you have money, you're just like, you have this 50 million for campaign, you want to do billboards, you want to be on social media and all that. That's fantastic. But I'll tell you the truth. Billboards don't sell real estate as much as persons do. I hope you know. So if you are a new real estate company, like a development company, and then you're creating, your strategy is billboards, I can tell you that you will spend a lot of money. In fact, you can spend 50 million and get 1 million or 2 million ROI if you do not get the marketing strategy correctly. So the first thing that we're looking at is that we're looking at the value chain. And how are you important in the value chain? Some days ago, I think that was on Wednesday, yes, I was speaking to a developer, and the person moved from being an architect to a developer. And it's always funny because most times, realtors will just say, I've made like 20 million. I want to be a developer. I will start selling land in Ekpe. By the time you go into it, you will see that is the real business, because you have a lot of what is called liability. So you do not want to start like that. So I was talking to this person that was an architect, and he just felt, what are developers doing? I can be a developer. And by the time the person became a developer, the way they were dragging the person left, right, and center, he was not sure. Because you have a lot of problems to solve, a lot of liabilities and a lot of assets. And I think that's why the easiest way to enter the market is through brokerage, consultancy, or professional services. Now, when you are entering through brokerage, there are some things that are really important. So what are those things that are really important when you are entering through brokerage? The first thing is you need to build a brand. And most people just say, oh, branding. Let me just go. In fact, the average person now, if you ask them, how did you become a realtor? I don't just want to do a survey in this room. They will say, oh, I just went to one conference with my friend, and after I went, they said they will add us to a WhatsApp group, right? When they added us to the WhatsApp group, they said we should be posting. I'm posting on my status. I'm posting on Instagram. Before you knew it, somebody reached out to me that they want to buy. Is that not the regular story? That's the regular story. But a brand is about intentionality. how you are very, very intentional about how you project and position yourself. And before I go to the technicalities or the definitions of what a brand is, I want to go layman, I want to go basic, I want to make it as simple as possible. The fact is, we all have brands. You are a brand as you are. And how do you know? Somebody said that a brand is what they say about you when you are not in the room. So before you get started at all, before you go and meet anybody that you are selling real estate or not, the first question you should ask yourself is, are you a person of integrity? So you have borrowed 200K from your friend and told them that you will pay next week, and it's been 1 year, you have not paid. And that is the friend that you want to sell real estate to. Are you joking? So the first thing is, many people think that the brand is what they are projecting on the outside, but I put it to you that the brand is the perception of you in your micro little relationships that you have. Even in your family, can they trust you? You know, it's in your family that we would have they know you. But if the perception about you in your family is not right, how do you want to expand? You know, somebody said that branding is about exposing your internal culture to the public. So what is your internal culture? Do you have a culture of discipline? Do you have a culture of hard work? Do you have values? Because that is it. A lot of people, right, your friends may not tell you, they cannot give you money. And I know that there are people in this room that have friends, but you know that our friendship is just like, hey, my guy, my lady. But when it comes to come and borrow me urgent 1 million, you will not borrow the person. So if you are that person, how will people trust you with their investment? And the thing with real estate is, when it comes to real estate, people, like, they use their savings. They use the things that they've brought together to start something. So money that I've been saving for 4 years, I will now give it to you. And I know your character. I will not give it to you. Even if it's a company, I'll be suspicious. So before we talk about, these are the nice things about branding, these are the photos, these are the colors, this is brand identity, this is brand perception, this is brand image, the first question and the most important question is your brand credit worthy? Because many people think that a brand is about the number of people that know them. So, in fact, we are in this frenzy where we are buying followers and likes on social media. And then for some people, their desire is that they should have 1 million followers or 10 million followers. In fact, it's some people's prayer points now that once I have 10 million followers like this, I will be an influencer. I have blown. But the question is, the 20 people that know you, what is your relationship with them? And the thing about real estate is that it's not about numbers. It's about stakeholders, values, getting the right people. Because guess what? You may have 100,000 people following you and not one of them can afford to buy what you are selling. You will just be a content creator, skit maker of life. But guess what? I've seen people that on their posts, they have 2 likes, 5 likes, and they are top selling realtors. How? So the purpose of this brand, of this class rather, is for us to focus on the things that are important and not the peripheral vanity metrics. Because most times when we talk about branding, a lot of people just want to focus on, when you meet clients, how can I grow on social media? How many followers will I get? How can I get 10,000 followers? How can I get 10 million followers? And the question is, the 2 followers you have, the 10, what are you doing with them? Because the people that they gave, I think that there's a parable of talent, right? And the person that they gave 1 talent, I think because they know that this person is not serious, that's why they gave him 1. Because the people that will multiply it, they gave them more. So the question is, what are we doing with our 1 talent? And it stems and starts from the intentionality, how we decide to live our lives daily. You know, the fact that your word should carry value. If you say you are coming, is something that easy. If you say that, oh, you don't have. It's not that, oh, I don't have to give you or something. If you say that this thing, I trust them, you have done your due diligence and we can trust you. Because guess what? Some people will be realtors, but even their family members will go and buy outside. Because they do not trust you, but they would not tell you. Have you realized that property is the only thing that people buy and hide in Nigeria? I don't know why. Because when they buy G-Wagon, we see the G-Wagon. But they will just have plenty property. You ask somebody, what's your portfolio? They think you want to kill them. So even your family members, if they cannot trust you, they cannot do business with you. So the first question or the first step in getting started in real estate is to be a credit-worthy person. Because once you are credit-worthy, you can add every other thing. Why? Because people will see the sincerity of your heart. So in this market, integrity is more important than knowledge. Although knowledge is gold, integrity is very, very, very important. So let's get to our class for today and let's look at our slides. So please, can we go to our first slide? Okay. So our topic today is humanize your real estate brand. And why did we say humanize your brand? Because we have gone through 7 eras of marketing, and what we see that keeps happening and keeps reoccurring is that the market dynamics are changing. So we had the trade and barter era, right? Where you have yam, I'll give you rice. You have clothes, I can give you wood. You have shoes, I can give you clothes. And that was an era in marketing. We came to different eras, and then we got to an era that is called the production era, mass production era. And in this era, most people, they don't need to market. Production companies just started producing and people will be buying. They were just a frenzy. And we got to another era where we had the marketing company era. So we now had agencies marketing for people when the goods and services were not just going. And then right now, from 2010, we are in the social marketing era. And what does that mean? That we have gotten to a place that marketing is no longer about the product you have, but it's about the person. So most times, customers try to make emotional connections with the brand. And one of the results of this marketing era is what we call brand loyalty. So you know that some people would use Clean, they will never use Ariel. Some people will use Close Up. They will never use any other toothpaste. In fact, some people have become so loyal that some brands have become the names of products. For instance, every noodle is called Indomie, right? Some people call every toothpaste Maclean. You know, some people call every detergent Omo. And it goes on and on and on because of the emotional connection that they have built with the brand. In fact, it's so petty that some people will drink Pepsi, but they'll never drink Coke. And some people will drink Coke, but they'll never drink Pepsi. In fact, the one that I heard is that some people will drink bottled Coke, but they will never drink plastic Coke. Can you imagine the level of connection and the level of brand loyalty? So the thing about real estate is, from my experience with the market, I've seen something that is unusual. And the thing is, the same way people are loyal to brands, people are loyal to their realtors. Have you noticed? Because if you've sold before, this is the secret. That's why I say that you can have 1 million followers and they are not useful to you. Because it's like 80-20 rule, maybe 90-10. Because do you realize that if somebody has bought real estate before, they will buy again? And so it's, in a way, addictive. So what do I mean by addictive? It's like somebody doing Forex. They will lose money today, right? They will cry. They will do it again. Do you know anybody that does Forex or trading? All those tradings. They will do it. They will lose money. After 1 week, they will do it again. So in a way, it's a kind of investment that is quite addictive. So that's why you see that when your client starts, they start from the basic, right? So let's say that somebody is working at Lekki and they're earning 500K. You would see that their first property can be something of 3 million or 5 million at Ekpe. But by the time, as they keep growing in their career, they'll get to Ikate and be buying 100 million. It's the same person. But in the portfolio of that person, there are like different products in their portfolio because that is how they know to build wealth. Now, the flip side of this is that some people will never invest in real estate, even if they have the money. They'll rather do Bitcoin, they'll do trading and other types of investment, especially for some people that they've lost money before in the market. So what does this teach us? That your goal as a realtor, for you to be okay, like okay on the average, if you have 10 loyal clients that have money, you have blown. Because the only thing and if you talk to the top realtors, most times they just say that, oh, they have this client that when a new product comes, they just send it to the person. And then the person will pay for it because the person already trusts them. The person is at peace with them. In fact, the brand loyalty is in the market is so strong to the extent that if you have a client, if you have sold, if you can relate, when I finish saying this, just raise your hand. If you have a client, right, and another realtor is pitching to that client, right, that client will now reach out to you and say that, oh, hey, this property, what do you think? Oh, something. This realtor, they even tell you the name of the realtor. And they'll send the page of the realtor pitching to them to you. And then when they do it, they'll tell you, what do you think about this property? I'm not sure, something. And once you say, you can buy it, I don't know, what will happen? They will not buy it. The moment you say, I don't know, it's your own, no, they will not buy it. That means you are that powerful. And that is how, so who can relate with what I just said? Interesting. So you have loyal clients, right? So that means that is what the market is driven by, loyalty. So how do you get brand loyalty for more people of your target audience? That's what the branding is about. It's not how you get 5 million followers. Because me, I cannot tell you. I don't have 5 million followers. So I cannot tell you. But I have quality people. So it's quality over quantity. So the first thing we talked about building your brand is what? You have to be credit worthy. Number 2, you can build brand loyalty by targeting the right audience. So we are going to move to look at our slides. And as I said, our topic is humanize your real estate brand. Because that's really how you get started. You are the brand. It's not your logo. It's not your design. It's not your website. When it comes to real estate and you are in brokerage, it is a personal brand that sells. Because people want to connect with people. That is why, naturally, if you call MTN or Airtel or any network provider, and they said, if you are trying to recharge, press 1. You will not press 1 until they say, to speak to our customer care agent, press 9. Why? But the solution of what you are looking for is in 1 because you are having problem recharging. So why didn't you press 1? Because you want to speak to someone. And that is the same thing when you are in the real estate market. People want to speak to someone. And the someone has to be somebody that they can trust. So I will try to, please let's move slides. So the first question, because this class is going to be as interactive as possible, and there is no wrong answer. So we can demystify, we can evaluate your answers, and then we move on from there. So the first question that I have is, what is a brand? What is a brand? We need somebody to answer, because I've been talking about branding. So what is a brand itself? Or who is a brand? Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. So my understanding of what a brand is people's perception about you, what they think about you, what they think about your product, or how they've really interacted with your product.
Okay. So what people think about you, how they think about your product and services. Who else? What is a brand? Okay, thank you.
For me, a brand is a character personality.
Okay, you want to?
Your identity. Identity.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so we had 3 answers, and I know that if I go around the room, we would have a lot more answers. So we have perception, we have character, we have identity. Now, these are definitions that could work, but would not totally work. Because if you say that a brand is perception, then you're talking about one aspect of branding that is called brand perception, right? So if you talk about a brand being character, you're talking about the brand touch points. If you talked about a brand being identity, you're talking about brand identity. So I'll tell you what brand identity means. Brand identity for a brand is, let's say, a logo, the colors, your website, and all that. But for a personal brand, because I think that we should focus more on personal branding for this class, right? For personal brands, what is your identity? The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. And it's so important that, do you know that if you carry yourself in a particular way, people will see you in a particular way? So that's why you go somewhere and they say this person is not serious. Some people even need to learn how to walk correctly, like with your head and shoulder eye. It's that deep. That is your brand identity as a personal brand, right? Okay, when you talked about character, that is your brand touch point, right? And then we can also say those are your brand values. Then when you talked about perception, it's about what people think about you. But all these are like fragments of definitions of a brand, and they do not give us the whole picture of what a brand is, right? Do we agree? Because we can say, oh, brand identity, brand perception. So what is a brand? A brand is a person, a product, a company, or any entity, and its augmented values. A brand is a person, a product, a company, or any entity, and its augmented values. So what do I mean by that? I mean that you as a person, you are a brand. A product is a brand. A company is a brand, meaning that a company can be a brand and have products under it that are brands. Do we understand? Let's give examples in the real estate industry. So what company do you know? I know Netcom Oaks, but Netcom Oaks is a brand and Victoria Crest is a brand. Right? What other brand? I think they have a product at Ogombo. Citadel. So Victoria Crest is a brand, Citadel is a brand, but Netcom Oaks is also a brand. Meaning that under a company, we can have products that are also brands. Do we understand? So a person is also a brand. And what do we mean by the augmented values? We mean that the brand identity, the brand perception, the brand image, the brand value, the brand tagline, the brand messaging, Like, there are a lot of things that add up to what a brand is. And today, I think I want to, for the personal brand, I want to explain the relationship between the brand identity and the brand image, right? Because he talked about identity. So what is identity? The brand identity is about the effort you put into your being or your product or your service because you are trying to get a perception from your target audience. So if you are a personal brand and you decide that, okay, I want to wear suits every day so that people will see me like the professional realtor. So any day I'm going to site, my dressing will be, I'll wear suit, but I'll have an helmet, I'll have a boot. That is the brand that I'm building. So you will not catch me any day without suit. If you notice, some real estate CEOs, they only wear natives every day because it's intentional. It's intentional. Okay, another person that has a dress code. Do you know Debola Lagos? Do you know Debola Lagos? Okay, Debola Lagos wears white and red cap every day because that is his brand identity. Now, if you notice, most of these kit makers too, you notice that for some of their characters, they wear the same clothes. Like Mr. Macaroni used to have one that he was wearing every day because he was intentional about creating a brand identity. So brand identity in itself is the effort that you put in to appear in a certain way for a personal brand. But for a company, what would then be the brand identity? It will be the brand image. It will be the logo. It will be the brand colors. It will be the websites. It will be the social media pages. It will just be how they appear on all platforms. Do we understand what brand identity is? Now, what is brand image? It's simple. Brand image is about the results, the perception. Because guess what? I may say that I want to wear native every day so that when people see me, they see me as a mature lady, and they have a perception about me. But guess what? I may wear native every day and somebody will just call and say, who is this small girl? That means that even if I'm wearing native, my brand identity, the reason for which I'm wearing the native, the effort for which I am putting in does not add up to the brand image. So the brand identity is the effort I make. The brand image is what the market gets in terms of the perception. Do we understand? So brand identity plus brand image equals brand perception. Do we understand that? So in branding, it's not about what you put in alone, because you can control what you put in. So you can control brand identity, but you cannot control brand image. Because some people will say, I want to wear suit every day. But people will say, what's this coat that this person is wearing? Have you seen that before? That you are wearing coat, but in your mind, you are wearing suits. That means that the brand identity does not tally with the brand image in that circumstance. Okay, so let's move quickly to brand humanization. So brand humanization is a process of making your brand more relatable, approachable, and emotionally engaging. So it is giving your brand the connection that it needs with your target audience. Right? And for a personal brand, you need to have that personality that connects with your customers. You know, some people will say, me, I don't talk. Oh, you don't talk. Your bills are talking. They are shouting. You know, and I'm a quiet person. I don't like talking too much. So the question is, how do I even build a brand that connects as a quiet person? Right? Because for some people, you have a target audience. Do you know that there are some clients, they call you, they want it straight to the point. Pam, pam, pam. We are finished. But there are some clients, they want you to give them gist. Oh, this happened. Do you know this? Do you know that? So you need to know how to connect. Whether the person is pam, 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 or the person is a storyteller. So what do you want to do? It involves creating a personality that resonates with his audience, fostering trust and connection beyond transactional relationship. And I'll tell you this. This is there intentionally because this slide is for real estate. Why do I mean beyond transactional relationship? Some people like this, when you sell, after you sold, the only thing that you want to do is to collect your commission. You don't check on the client. You don't know anything about them. They don't have a relationship with you. Everything, you have sold, you have gone. You have done your own business. But that's not how to build a brand. Remember what we said about the nature of your customers in the beginning. That if you treat them well, they may get addicted. In fact, the possibility of them getting addicted to buying from you is large. But you just buy and you move away. And it's not just with customers. And there's something called stakeholders, which I will come to, right? The second part is that some people, after they sold, they'll just collect their commission from the company. You don't just collect your commission from the company. You build a relationship. Because when companies see that this person is selling for me and they are selling more, you know that developers want to sell. So how do you fuel that relation? Do you know there are companies that they have realtors that they invite to their events, but they will not invite you because you don't have a relationship with them. You will now see it on Instagram that, this company did events. They invited realtors. They didn't invite me. You are not building your brand. So it's about connecting, not just with the people that you're selling to, but with all your stakeholders. And I'm tempted to define stakeholders, but let me just stay on course, right? So the idea is to make your customer feel like they are interacting with a person. Not that, oh, okay, you want to buy Stadel Oasis, 90 million, thank you. Have you made payments? And some people naturally, and that's why I said building a brand is not about your relationship with customers. Some of us need to go and make friends and use friends to train ourselves in talking to people. Because some people don't have good relationship skills. You don't even have any friend. Everybody in your life, they are bad. You are the only good person. Go and work on yourself. Because you will not remain in the market. If you sell by accident, give yourself 2 years. You will not remain. Have you seen people that sell? They know that they have to sell. They know how to do these things. And for some of us, it's like if you are here and all the people in your life, they are bad. It's only you that you are the good person. Please, tell God that, God, please give me a friend and let me nurture it. Because when you are building relationships, the thing is, the relationships that you are building, they will hurt you. You will reach out to a client and the client will be like, what is this? What nonsense? How do you manage it? You say, get out because of the commission you want to give me. Is that what you will say? No, but it's real because when is your friend now? When is your friend? You will just say, is this person not my friend? This is a client. But guess what? At times, the thing is in the subconscious. The day that you're not expecting it will just come out. And when it comes out, may it not come out in the wrong place. Amen? All right, so let's move quickly. Can we move the slides, please? Oh, okay, so this is me. Oh, God, I don't want to talk about this story. Skip! Should I talk about it? Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay, I will tell you. Let's go back to the story. So that's the story, and I'm using the story to share about building a brand. So this was me in 2018, and 2019, 2022. Okay, so I am very slim naturally. So I used to be slimmer than this, right? And in being naturally slim, you know how people will say you can never be fat, and you have taken in that I can't be fat. This is how I am. This is my stature and all that. And then in 2022, I started studying, and I realized that you can change anything you want to. You can change how you look. You can change your character. You can change, there's nothing that, you cannot just sit and say that this is my nature. Nothing is your nature. If you decide to go out to change it, you will change it. So I started conducting research, and I realized that I was slim because of my eating habits. So you need to find out what the problem is. Like, I could go from morning till night without eating, and I would just remember that, oh, why am I tired? I've not eaten today. And I would just quickly eat, and that was it, right? So I became intentional about taking records of my daily eating habits, eating more protein, doing more workouts, eating healthy. And then I started seeing results. And what did that teach us? That we cannot, even if it's your nature, nothing, it is your habits. It is your discipline. And the thing is that building a brand is not about what you do. It's what you do once. It's about what you do daily. So I want to connect with, because then, guess what? I started monitoring what I was eating daily. The thing about the day is that the day is a unit of life. So, yes, this is a church. So why is God called the Ancient of Days, not the Ancient of Months or Ancient of Years? Because there's something about the day. What did the Bible say? It says, teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. So in building a brand, it is the culture of your day. So when do you wake up? What do you do every day? What do you want to achieve? I know that it is very important. It's very beautiful. We write our New Year goals, New Year, new me. But what's your goal for tomorrow? That is what determines the brand you are building. It's like drops of water. It's like drops of water. We talk about brand identity, but the brand identity is how you look every day. We talk about brand image, but the brand image is how people see you every day. We talk about building relationships, but relationships is about how you show you care every day. We talk about brand perception, but perception is about what people think about you every day. So building a brand is your culture that you are putting to the public. If your culture is bad, if it is bad, the day you put it to the public, that is how it's going to be. So a day should not pass us by without us having an idea of the value that we want to project. So the question is, what do you want to do today? Because it is not about, many people just think it's about making that, just having one viral post and you have 50 million views. But are you posting every day? And if you are posting every day, what are you posting every day? That is how to build a brand, honestly. It's about the things that you do every day. So let's move, please. Thank you. I'll clap if you want to clap. Okay, so what are the key aspects of brand humanization? Number one, authenticity. Now, as much as we say, build your brand identity, build your brand image, do this, do that, the first thing is authenticity. Because when we now talk about branding, somebody will now sit and say, we in this real estate, which realtor has a good brand? Okay, this is how the person does. I will now copy the person. Me too, I'll be dressing like that person. I'll be doing this like that person. It's a lie. It won't work. Yes. Because the first thing about branding is that you have to be original. And the thing about copying is that if you are copying, people will know. People will even say that, this person is copying this person. So why do you want to copy? And it was in a class like this that the thing about authenticity is you have to build your brand to your strength. There's a guy called Kabilame. He made hundreds of thousands of dollars doing skits, right? Do you know Kabi? And he was on TikTok or he's on social media and all that. But guess how he built his brand? He built his brand by not talking. So you just do a video and you just like this. But guess what? I heard him speak. He's not a good speaker. So the silence was his strength. But if you had come to say, let me talk, let me try and talk, you cannot compete with people that are better than you in some things. They will floor you, finish you. So what is that thing that you are better than somebody else in? You don't have to do what everybody is doing. So what is that thing that God has blessed you with that you know that, if I just, some people, your looks, you are doing video, the way they just look, maybe African eyes, that's okay. But you need to find it. For somebody, when she came for a session like this, she decided that she will be the dancing realtor. And that's what is giving her money, because she can dance. So the question is, what is the thing that comes to you naturally that you can build your brand around? What is that thing that is easy for you that is not easy for others? Remember, it is very easy to catch copycats. And copycats don't last in the game. So how do you want to build something sustainable, like a fish in water? So you know the reason why you don't know? You know the reason why you don't know how you build your brand? Because you are not, in fact, you need to do meditation by yourself and think about it. What are the things? Sometimes people will say, you do this thing well, and you are very funny. You just like, hey. If I'm a comedian, I'll be making money. But you know how much skit makers are making? Do you know that some skit makers, you want to put a post, is 6.5 million naira? Do you know that? Yes. Just because you want to put a post on their platform. So the question is, what is that thing that you want your brand to revolve around? For some people, you can write, but you are not writing. You can write. Or, it's very funny because there's somebody that I know that when she takes picture, her picture looks 20 times finer than her. Right? That is a strategy. So what do you want to do with your picture? You just want to be taking it and posting and people are saying you are fine. How can you build a brand around that? So it is very, very important for us to find the authenticity, what works for us. The next one is relatability. So you cannot say what is authentic to me is only me. Nobody can understand it. For instance, there are some people that use very big grammar that nobody can understand. And they will say that's how we speak. That's not how you speak, you're not communicating. Because the people that want to buy from you, they don't even understand. We were doing a brand audit for someone, and the name of the business of the person, you have to be very, very good with grammar to be able to pronounce the business name, and then the product name too. You have to be very good with grammar. And I told the person, this brand that's your name, nobody can call your name as it is. Imagine you are selling to one Igbo man at Alaba that has money, can buy from you, but cannot pronounce the name of your product. You say, Shebi. But those are the things that matter. Because guess what? If you are not careful, people will murder the name that you are trying to build. And it was like, people that like this cartoon, they will like this name. Is it cartoon? Is it people that like cartoon you are selling to? It's not people that like cartoon. So you need to be relatable. Another thing is, if you look at Taoma's kids, right? For Taoma's kids, you realize that when she first started, they used to slap her. That is relatability. Because she started with what is happening in African homes and families. So most people from African homes, they are waiting for the slap. Before you do something like this, your mother will slap you. So a lot of people could relate. That is why it went viral. She went viral and she became a celebrity because of relatability. So relatability is very, very important. Emotional connection, two-way communication, personality and voice, stories and values, visual representation. So please, let's move quickly, and I would focus on personality and voice. Yes. Okay, so why does brand humanization matter? Please, can you read for us? Okay. Can somebody read? Okay.
Build trust. Consumers are more likely to trust and support brands that feel personal and authentic. increases loyalty, emotional connections, foster brand loyalty, as people prefer brands that understand them. Improves engagement. Humanized brands receive higher levels of interaction on social media and other platforms. Enhances differentiation. It helps your brand stand out in a crowded marketplace by creating memorable experiences. Derive sales. People buy from brands they feel connected to on or a deeper level beyond the product or service itself.
All right, thank you very much. So we can see the reasons. Trust, we've talked about trust in this class. We've talked about loyalty, engagement, right? Your communication with people. We've talked about differentiation, and we've talked about sales for the benefits of brand humanization. Please, can we move to the next slide? Is there... Please, can we move to the next slide? Okay, so examples of brand humanization. So this is Apple, Nike, and Coca-Cola. And the thing is, you know, many people, we are so fixated about getting fine names. But when you look at brand name, what's the meaning of Apple? Apple. What's the meaning? A for apple. Because a brand is about what you make out of it at the end of the day. And what is about Apple is known for its minimalist design, emotional arts. It uses storytelling and creativity to connect emotionally with the audience. That's why if somebody is using an iPhone, for instance, you want to buy iPhone 16 Pro Max so that they will think you're a big boy or a big girl. Not because you need it, because you had 15 Pro Max. Why? Because Apple is about perception, not about the product itself. So the next one is Nike. It tells stories about achievement, about aspiration, about perseverance. And in the real estate industry, do you realize that there are some brands that are aspirational brands? Like people, even with the comments on their social media, people will say, when I blow, I go come buy from this company. Do you see that? Because Nike positions itself as an aspirational brand. So you will say, when I start making good money, I'll start buying original Nike products, isn't it? Then the last one is Coca-Cola. What is the relationship between what people call jedi and happiness? Isn't it don't people call Coke jedi? So what is this relationship between, when you see their adverts, you will see that they are with people, there is always a celebration, a gathering, a storytelling, because a brand is not about the product, it's about the experience and what you make out of it. So Coca-Cola will say, open happiness. So to end the session, I would like to go back to Apple, and I would like to tell us about how the brain works. Now, there are different parts of the brain. There's a part called the neocortex, and there's another part called the limbic. Now, I'll tell you how it works. The neocortex is the logical aspect of the brain. So when you want to make a purchase, you want to buy an iPhone, your cortex will tell you that you have 5 million in your account. Why are you using 1.5 million to buy a new iPhone? But your iPhone is still good, right? And then you think about it, okay, what can I do logically and all that? Or do I really need this phone? That is the neocortex. There's another part which is called the limbic, which is the emotional connection in the brain. And how does that do? What will neocortex tell you? Wow, if you buy a new iPhone, you will take nicer pictures, you will enjoy. In fact, when people see you, they will think, this person is growing, this person is making money. That's why they are using this iPhone. When you go for meetings, you can bring the iPhone out. Even your clients will know that, this is not a hungry realtor. This and that. Guess what? Neocortex is a part that helps you connect emotionally. At times, what you want to buy does not make sense. But because you connect emotionally, you will buy it. Now, measure the success of your brand, not in the extent of people thinking logically that if I buy this property, but let your brand grow to the part that you have emotional connections with your audience, that they are not buying with their brain, but they are buying with their hearts Thank you.